hard practice this afternoon. I've got a couple guys that are being held out. Hopefully by Monday they'll be back. I thought some of the work we did today was good, certainly some special team work, and I'm really pleased with how Josh Allen keeps on progressing as a quarterback. I think he's doing some good things for us.
Hey, what have you liked from the special teams work that you've done so far? Again, I know we're just going into the first week of camp, but has anything stood out as far as athleticism on some of your coverage teams, or anything stood out there so far?
More depth on coverage team. I think with the improvement of recruiting through the years, our coverage team they've improved, and we have more depth, more special team like bodies, and so hopefully someday it'll come to where we're able to redshirt a lot of those players. But right now we're going to take a look at a lot of those freshmen defensive backs and linebackers and a couple wide receivers. Pleased with Cooper on his kickoffs, and we'll continue to work on stuff.
With this being the first day of 2 days, is the second practice today sort of a test to see how guys react to that, or?
Well, back in the old day, you just did full pads twice.
Right.
And so we're trying to, typically we do a harder workout in the morning and a lighter workout in the afternoon. And a lot of research has shown with concussions, the longer you have between, a pretty intense practice. But this practice is going to test our guys. And, we'll end up with some scrimmaging. And so it'll be a good test for us.
Craig, I know you've talked a lot about Austin Conaway since he joined, and you like the progress. Is he even ahead of the curve that maybe what you thought when you got him? Granted, I know he played football, but hadn't played. Is he kind of ahead of the curve where you thought he might be at this point?
Yeah, that'd be accurate. He's been a pleasant surprise for us. He came out in the middle of spring football. We knew about him out of high school. He's from the same high school as Kevin Prosser and Elijah Halliburton, so we know a lot about the school. So we knew a lot about Austin. He was a quarterback. But what has surprised me, we didn't know, is just his competitive nature and his athleticism. And so he's going to be a guy that we're going to look to help us this year.
It's a little random, but I wanted to ask about New Mexico. I know they're a team that's gone through a rebuild recently and had it kind of start to pay off last year. Do you see some parallels with what they've done to what you're trying to do here?
Well, certainly. Our first year, we had a really tight ball game with them, and then I looked down the roster last year, and many of the defensive linemen were four-year starters. And I think last year was the first year Coach Davey said they were at full strength with their scholarship numbers. And that comes into play. And going through a transition is never easy. You have an experienced coach down there, and they had a clear plan, and it worked out for them. They got in a bowl game, and they won a lot of football games last year.